Today, we're heading over to Western Australia, where there's been a massive discovery at the Telfer mine. Now, this mine has been producing for almost 2 decades, so you'd think, all its secrets would be uncovered by now, but it turns out this old mine has a brand new story to tell, and it is a big one. So that begs the question, right? How in the world do you find a new mine inside an old one? Well, we're not talking about exploring some brand new uncharted territory here. This is what the industry calls a brownfield discovery, finding a super valuable new resource right next door to your existing operations. Seriously, it's kind of like finding a secret hidden room in a house you've lived in for 20 years. It was there all along, you just needed new data and a fresh look to find it. All right, let's get right to the heart of it. This isn't just some small, insignificant find. The first results coming out of the West Dome project are pointing to a major gold discovery, one that could honestly be a game changer for the entire Telfer operation. So the headline news is coming from this project called the West Dome Underground, which is right next to the main mine. And there are 2 words you really need to remember here: wide and high grade. See, finding high-grade gold is always great news, but finding it across wide zones, that's what really gets people in this business excited. It's the difference between finding a small treasure chest and finding an entire treasure room. And hey, in this case, the treasure isn't just gold. There's a whole lot of copper in there too. And you don't have to take my word for it. The company's managing director, Sean Day, he summed it up perfectly. He's not just talking about some good drill results. He says this discovery opens up a new quartile of the Telfer mine. I mean, that is a huge statement. It suggests this isn't just a little extension. No, this could be a whole new section of a world-class mine, like a second underground operation running in parallel with the first one. And here's the proof, right here in the numbers. Just look at that top line for drill hole 92, an 82.2 meter wide intersection. That is a massive, massive zone of mineralization. And it's not low-grade stuff either. That gram meters column on the far right, that's just a quick way to see the overall power of the find. You just multiply the width by the grade. The higher that number, the better. And as you can see, these are some seriously impressive results. Okay, so we've seen the drill results, and they are definitely impressive. But what do they actually mean? To really get the true scale of what they've found, we need to look at the anatomy of the find, what the geologists have actually uncovered down there. First, a little bit of geology talk. A mineralized domain. It's basically a specific zone in the rock that has a bunch of valuable minerals concentrated in it. Think of it like a treasure map, right? Some treasure might be buried in a single chest, but other times it's scattered all across a field. Well, the more types of treasure zones you find, the richer the whole area is. And in this case, they found multiple domains. And that is what is so incredibly exciting about this discovery. They didn't just find one type of mineralization. They've hit 3 separate, distinct, and really valuable domains: the Western Limb, the Eastern Limb, and this huge thing in the middle called the Western Stockwork Corridor. And what's cool is how these different domains work together. You've got the East and West limbs, which are like these rich veins of gold, about 10 meters wide, running for over 500 meters. But that Western Stockwork Corridor, that's a completely different animal. It's this massive 40-meter wide zone of mineralization that just goes on and on for over 700 meters. So it's like having these super high-value gold veins running through a giant block of lower-grade but still really valuable ore. For a miner, that is pretty much the perfect combination. But believe it or not, the geology is only half the story. The real game changer here isn't just what they found, it's where they found it. See, this discovery has a secret weapon that could make it incredibly valuable, incredibly quickly. And that secret weapon is the mine next door. Okay, so right now, the existing underground mine at Telfer, it's called the Main Dome, is mining at a rate of about 1.2 million tons of ore per year. All right, just keep that number in your head for a second. Because, get this, the infrastructure they already have on site, the crusher, the shaft, the processing plant, it was all built to handle a massive 6 million tons per year. That's a huge amount of spare capacity just sitting there, waiting for more rock to process. It's like having a 6-lane highway with only 1 lane of traffic on it. And it's not just the processing plant, it's the whole shebang. The haulage shaft, crushers, ventilation, power, water, literally everything a modern underground mine needs to run. It's all there, and it's all underutilized. And what that means is they can fast-track this West Dome project, plugging it straight into the existing system. That saves them billions of dollars and years of construction time. It's a massive advantage. So you've got a major discovery sitting right next to a mine with massive spare capacity. The obvious question is, what happens next? Well, as you can imagine, the company is not wasting any time at all moving this project forward. The path to production is already well underway. They're finishing up a second access tunnel so they can get even more drills in there. In fact, they've already added a third rig to speed things up. All of this drilling is going to lead to the first official resource estimate, which is targeted for March 2026, and at the same time, a pre-feasibility study is already in progress to work out all the nuts and bolts of actually building this new mine. So, it all comes full circle. The Telfer mine has been a major producer for nearly 20 years, but it looks like its best days might still be ahead. The West Dome discovery isn't just about extending the mine's life for a few more years. It's about starting a whole new chapter. The big question now is whether this incredible new find is the key that unlocks the next 20 years of production for one of Australia's most iconic gold mines. Only time is going to tell, but the future for Telfer is looking brighter than ever.